Welcome to Rhodes Smart Camp. And today I have a very smart guest, Mr. Ben Gonzalez.
How's it going, man? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, my brother. Now, you're a comedian that I love, I respect. You always have new material. You're always talking about your life.
Thanks, man.
But the number one
Likewise.
reason that you're here is because I think you're a really good quality human being.
Appreciate that, man. Feel the same way about you.
How did you get to be such a good guy?
Oh, we go way back with that, man.
What's the cause of this goodness?
I have no idea, dude. You know what I mean?
Parents,
just like
upbringing,
everybody else, dude. Just
religion.
Like
what is it?
Trying my best, and you know what I mean. Hoping for a good outcome for everybody.
Well, you got my note. I noticed.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man.
You got a certain light about you, Ben.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, and you always show up with really intelligent material. Anytime, I don't see you too often, but whenever I do, I always pay attention and watch your set and go, yeah, fuck,
Dude.
I like this guy's brain.
That means so much coming from you, man. Because yeah, you're like one of my favorite comics, dude. And honestly, it's funny. Like it's an honor to be here and be doing this show. When I first saw you was actually like after my first open mic set ever.
What, like in person?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Or just saw your comedy. You know what I mean? I hadn't seen you before. I had started stand up, and I did my first open mic was actually the Laugh Factory mic.
Okay.
I didn't know that it was like an audition for the club.
Yeah.
I just knew I wanted to try an open mic, and that comedy clubs had open mics.
Yeah.
And that the Laugh Factory was a comedy club. I just showed up and people were in line. They're like, yeah, we're in line to sign up for the open mic. And I thought it was like you sign up for the open mic and like you do it right after. I didn't realize it was for the week before that you're waiting for. Like, was it for the following week or like 2 weeks after?
I don't know. I never had to do that at the Laugh Factory.
Like that, yeah.
But when you drive by there, you always see
those guys,
line of comedians sitting around, all lined up around the block.
They're trying to be the first 12 on the list to be signed up for the mic, but I think it's for the mic the following
for the next week.
Yeah,
wow!
So you show up, wait in line to come back the next week, right? So I remember doing that and not knowing that it's an audition for the club, and I'm the only person that's never done comedy, right? And so when I go back to do the actual show.
So when did you start? Like how
2011.
Okay.
Yeah, actually my anniversary's gonna be coming up. It was my first set. That set was May 31st, 2011.
And you were married at the time?
Yeah, I just had my first kid. I haven't been married. I just had a longtime girlfriend.
Okay.
And
how many kids do you have?
I got two. I got two sons.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of your comedy is about parenting, and you've got the new special, Fool's Custody.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about it in a minute. I just watched it. It's hilarious.
Thanks,
it's
man.
like everything you do. It's top quality.
Thanks.
So you were still in a relationship. Were you ever divorced or married?
I was never married.
Okay.
I had a long-term relationship where we had two kids.
Because you don't seem to carry any bitterness or anything.
That's more part of like what you're opening with
acting.
of me being a great guy. You know what I mean? Like you just have to, I process a lot of it, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I don't go too much into the personal details of like what happened and how I wound up with full custody of my kids. I just know that just that changed in my life early 2021. So about 3.5 years now, I've had, my kids full time.
Yeah.
So when I had the opportunity to do a special and, they wanted it to be, when you do a special, you want to do personal material, you're telling your story. Because a lot of times too, before that, my material wasn't that personal. I just kind of told a lot of jokes.
Yeah.
So I love writing jokes, dude. You know what I mean? I love punchlines. I love misdirection. So that was my set. And like when I was first, approaching with the idea of doing a special, that was what I had in mind. I'm just going to do all my heat. You know what I mean? Like your best 30. And, this is it. This is what I always kill with. But there was no like narrative. There was no, cohesion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There wasn't like a real theme. So I had to like sit and rewrite, like, what am I going through right now? What's happening? And I had huge changes, man. I got my kids full time. I went from, having my kids, a few times a week, if that, to all the time, So,
yeah, and that's huge. And I want to ask you about that, but I do a lot of jokes. I've tried to talk about my personal life, and sometimes things are a little too close to the bone.
Yeah.
Like I was doing jokes about the last relationship I was in, and just like to relive the anguish, I found very unpleasant.
Yeah.
So
it's not easy.
I don't know if I have a personal narrative arc in my show.
It's like what trauma and tragedy plus time equals comedy.
Yeah,
But like sometimes it's still trauma, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And sometimes it's still tragic, like You can't always like work it out with jokes. And the other thing too is people tell me to do more jokes about my day job. You know what I mean? Is I was been a paramedic for 20 years. And I really didn't do that either because I couldn't find ways where I thought it'd be funny to people. I know how to be funny to other paramedics. And so then it turns out, ironically, like the one, we all have to post reels and jokes on Instagram. My first joke to hit, a million views or whatever and a bunch of likes was a paramedic joke.
What was the joke?
It's a joke about people always want to ask you, like, if they find out you're a paramedic, the first story is, oh, you must have, seen some crazy shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, tell me the craziest thing you've seen, right? They want to hear a crazy story. And a lot of times people don't want to tell you. And it's like, I don't give a shit. I'll tell you. I once responded to a guy who had his arm cut off in an industrial accident.
Jesus.
Arm chopped off.
Ouch.
Blood spraying everywhere. It's a crazy scene, right?
Jesus.
And the first thing you have to do, you have to stop the bleeding. Then you ask them questions to try to assess their level of consciousness, because that's a quick way to tell if they've already gone into shock.
Right.
So the first thing we ask him, like, hey, man, how did this happen to you? And he had no idea because he was stumped.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Ouch.
See, it sounds like it's going to be a long story, but I cut it off.
That's hardcore shit, man. And you had your podcast is about like gruesome near-death experiences.
It's a trip.
So I think I could do like 4 episodes.
Oh man, we're gonna have you on for sure then. Tom.
Almost drowning in Thailand.
Dude, this is exactly what we have. A guy that drowned.
Well, wow.
Yeah, we had a guy. He was swimming with his kid in Maui at a not a more private beach, right? Not a lot of people out there on the beach. He's swimming kind of far out. I guess like a big squall comes through, and he's got like a flotation device also, but he loses it, and he's out there. He can't swim back, and he's just trying to keep his kid above water, and he gets exhausted trying to keep his kid above water in this into this storm, right? And he lets go.
Wow.
And he tells us about it, like where he makes the decision, like, I gave up. Like, I can't do it anymore. I can't hold him anymore. I have no strength left.
Wow.
And he dropped, and he described drowning, dude. You know what I mean? Like the water goes in, the air goes out, and he said it kind of feels like you're in the womb. He's like, it was actually like peaceful. Like a peaceful. I was like, are you
Did his kid survive?
His kid survived. And what happened was, when he's screaming for help, because no one's out there on the beach, his voice carried over to like a condo where somebody on their second floor deck heard somebody yelling for help. There was a guy that lives downstairs who's like a local that's like an awesome swimmer. He goes, the guy runs down and tells his neighbor, hey, I hear somebody screaming for help. This dude just runs out, swims way the hell out there, finds him, swims down like 20 feet or something, finds him, pulls him up, and he makes it.
Wow.
So then he describes coming out of drowning. Because if you've already been under for, a minute, you've drowned, basically, you're going through like cellular death already. You haven't had oxygen in your body long enough for your cells to die. So when you're waking up and you have a bunch of dead cells in your body that have been deprived of oxygen, it's just pain, dude. It's like indescribable pain that you can't do anything about because it's just dead cells in your body.
So when you come back to life, you're just in agonizing pain?
Yeah, he was just in agony, dude.
Wow.
Until, you got to the hospital, they put him under, he was in a coma, and then he comes out of it later. But yeah.
Well, mine wasn't a peaceful womb-like feeling. I was scuba diving in Thailand, and I had bad equipment.
Oh, shit.
And started breathing in water. And I go to the swim to the French instructor guy, and it seemed like it took him forever to get me the octopus, the spare respirator. Yeah. By the time it got to my mouth, I'd held my breath for so long. I just like, and I'm just gasping, and I'm like, as I'm sucking on this thing, I'm also taking in all this water, and all I see is bubbles in this French fuck's face, but he's guiding me upwards, and it was just, I was fighting for my life, and just like, just gagging, taking this thing in, and I made it to the surface, but I didn't go unconscious at any point. But it seemed like
you had all.
We were not. It seemed like I better get to the top quick, or I'm gonna be dead. It seemed like this death bark came out of me. It was the sound of someone dying, and it came out of my innards. Yeah.
it happens, man. And when you got up, did you go to the hospital or
No,
yeah,
no.
you just kind of sat up for a minute, caught your breath,
Yeah, and just
you felt okay to go back?
vomited out some water
Oh yeah.
on when I got back into the boat.
Did you wind up going back down again
I did the next day
the next day? Okay.
because I knew if I didn't go back, I'd never do it again.
Yeah, I can
So
see
I
that.
went back the next day.
And you've scuba dived since?
Yeah, I did
that's
once
your thing.
after that, but yeah, it's not a high list of my priorities of things to do.
Yeah, I know, but people, downplay the danger, I think, of it.
Hmm.
And there is like real risk coming up too fast. That's the number one thing that happens,
And
because
then
that's part of my day job too, is we run the hyperbaric chamber out of Catalina. So all the dive emergencies
oh, to
come
like
through
when
my
people get
department.
the bends.
Yeah, and people get the bends. And
The-
that's what happens all the time. You come up too fast, you start having, symptoms like
and what
you
does
feel
that do? It puts
feel
oxygen
leaks.
back in their cells?
What happens is, okay, so when you get the bends, you get nitrogen bubbles start popping up in your bloodstream, right?
Jesus.
And it's going to cause you all kinds of problems. You're going to have breathing problems. You're going to feel pain. You're going to feel, you're going to have stiffness. It's going to be harder to move, and it can, lead to death. When you go into the hyperbaric chamber, what they do is they recreate the pressure that you were under when you were down at depth in the water. And then they slowly bring you back out of it the way you were supposed to come out originally. And that pops the bubbles.
Wow. And that's
Yeah.
in Malibu?
It's on Catalina. It's
Oh,
on the
okay.
island. Yeah, it's at Two Harbors.
Cool.
So
how often do you go to Catalina?
we don't travel to Catalina for it. Where I work, it's more like a call center. So what'll happen is you come up, with the bends. The lifeguards will come out and get you. It's Baywatch Avalon lifeguards. They come out and get you. They call us. We call a doctor, put them through with the doctor. They determine this guy needs to go to the chamber. We get a guy that lives there on the island that works at works to run the chamber.
Yeah.
Opens it up. We call the fire department. We have them send a helicopter to USC. Well, now it's called LA General, but it used to be County USC. They pick up a doctor from LA General, fly them over to Catalina, and then that doctor treats them in the chamber. And there's been people that go into cardiac arrest underwater in scuba that come out of it and walk out of the chamber and go home.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Like, it can really reverse, the symptoms of whatever it is you're going through. And it's really like the only way to treat that.
That's got to be
It
expensive,
happens.
huh?
I mean, the whole everything's expensive,
Yeah.
but that's one of the cool things about my job is that I'm working for the county. So we run like public hospitals that have all these services. So LA General, if you can't pay, they're still going to treat you. You know what I mean? You might get a bill.
Yeah.
It's up. I don't know if you're ever going to pay it, but they're still going to
Like,
treat
why
you. And
is
still help
medical shit so expensive? 10 years ago, I busted my head open in Philadelphia. It's the reason I quit drinking.
You. Oh yeah.
And they wanted to call an ambulance and the people in this bar. And I said, fuck that. That's like $15,000. I don't have health insurance. And they go, you got to get to a hospital. I'm like, how far is the nearest hospital? They go, 2 blocks. You're going to call an ambulance? Fucking 2 blocks?
Yeah.
So I got a wad of napkins, held it to my forehead, and see the scar right there?
Mm-hmm.
It blends in nicely with the wrinkles. But I got 6 stitches and it cost like $8,000. And that was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Why the fuck would stitches cost $8,000?
It's so many things involved with it, man. I mean, the system's not great to begin with. There's markups everywhere that can go back to just, greed, basically. Pharmaceutical companies, medical supply companies, they have the ability to mark up their products however much they want. You know what I mean? Like, Congress doesn't really
Well, I had to
stop
sit
that.
there for like 5 hours before they even
Yeah.
saw me. So,
and then the other
like-
thing too is the malpractice insurance that's
Okay.
involved for the hospital and the doctor that treats you. You got to pay a lot because, it's a crazy ass job, dude, to be like a surgeon or something. Like, you're in people's bodies, dude. You know what I mean? And you're repairing and just hoping that the thing you do works and holds, and usually it does, but that's a lot of cases that we get too, to come into the hospital, or, people where they have surgical complications, man. The shit came loose. If it got infected, fell out, like, you know what I mean? Like, all of that stuff can happen. You know what I mean? The doctor is just a guy
right.
who trained and practiced, and he decided that going into your heart or your brain or whatever is what he's going to do. And you're just hoping that guy did it right. And if he didn't, you're fucked with whatever it is until somebody fixes it and gets it right. You know what I
Wow.
mean? So whatever that's worth to the court or to a jury, if somebody fucks up, they've got to be able to cover that with insurance. And they just pass that cost on to
But
the
$8,000
patient's
for
insurance
stitches,
company.
Ben?
I know, dude. I know, dude. It's crazy, dude.
Have you had a near-death experience?
I haven't, man. The worst thing, I thought I was having a heart attack once, dude. Like I had like severe chest pain that like woke me up in the middle of the night, dude, like through my back. And I was like, holy shit. And when you're a paramedic, you never want to call 911. Like you'll downplay everything that's happening to you. And like the last thing you're going to do is fucking call to get picked
Why?
up,
You don't want to
dude.
see your friends, or?
Nope. And you don't really want to go to the ER. Like you don't want to be a patient, man. After you treated patients for so long, you just don't want to be one.
Because you know how
Right.
fucked up the system is.
Yeah. Pretty
Yeah?
much, man. And you
I would say doctors
don't
will
want to be
kill
on
you.
the other side of the chair, dude. Yeah,
Yeah.
like I know all the shit that can happen, and unless I really need it, I don't want to, I'm not going to want to do it, right? And in this case, I was like, damn, I'm going to have to drive to the ER. Like this shit is not going away. Like what if I'm having a heart attack? You know what I mean? Like I'm almost 40. This could happen. There's guys drop dead in their late 30s, mid 30s. You know what I mean? You don't know. And so I get in the car. It's like 2:30 in the morning, and I start driving to Cedars-Sinai. And maybe after 5-10 minutes driving, I'm at a red light, and I just ripped the loudest, hardest burp ever. And the shit went away.
Wow.
Yep. It was gas, dude. You know what I mean? And I really thought like, this is it. You know what I mean? Like I'm driving for my life to the fucking hospital.
And then you burped and you felt
yes, dude.
better. So you
Yeah.
you just get some Sprite if you think you're having a
Right?
heart attack.
Yeah. That's why like moms always try to give you 7-Up and shit. Dude. Telling you, man.
Wow.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Another near-death experience I had. I didn't realize, but there was in 2020, walking by the Grove parking garage, a woman jumped off and committed suicide, and she landed my arm's length to my right.
No.
Yeah, and the fucking sound of this woman hitting the pavement, and she bounced. It was right next, and I knew instantly it was a suicide right when it happened.
Yeah.
But I didn't think until a couple days later, oh, she could have landed on me,
Yeah.
and I could have been paralyzed or whatever.
Yeah. I never thought of how tall that parking structure is, but yeah.
Yeah.
Man, yeah, that's fucking
So you must have
crazy,
seen
dude.
shit like
Wait,
that
so
all
how,
the
how long ago was that?
November 19th, 2020.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I was really
dude.
fucked up over that for a long time.
I'll bet,
I
man.
just played over and over in my head.
At arm's length from you, dude.
Yeah, 200-300 times a
Just
day.
the odds of that happening.
I couldn't
even.
sleep. And there was no comedy at the time. Everything was shut down in
Right.
LA. So it was a pretty dark.
It was ripe for depression anyway, and then
Yeah.
an unthinkable thing happens to you.
Yeah, it was a dark fucking tunnel. I went in there for a little while.
Yeah.
But now I'm back with the rainbows and the hummingbirds. So
Yeah. See? And
So you
that's
must have
kinda-
seen shit like that all the time. And that's the thing, like people who are trained to see death,
Mhm.
it still is not easy for them. But for like Joe regular citizen like me, you see
Yeah.
some like gruesome combat level death thing
Dude.
happen right next to you. That's post-traumatic stress disorder. I realized after that I had been misusing the word traumatized my whole life. I had never really been traumatized.
Yeah, a lot of people do though, man. Yeah, and that's the thing too about that job. Like being a paramedic will put like life into perspective, man, and problems into perspective, dude. Because the thing too that will hit most people when they take the job or after they've been doing it for a while, you don't care so much about blood. It's more seeing like how people live. You know what I mean? You're used to everybody having like a normal life, the people your friends and stuff. And then this is a big city, and there's people just living in hell, basically, all over the city, man. You know what I mean? Where like you go into people's houses, and it's like, holy fuck, man! Like, how is this your life every day? Like, how do
Really?
you do this? You know what I mean? And because the thing too is, you got to think like most people go through their whole lives and never have to call 911.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then there's a certain percentage of people that call 911 all the fucking time. You know what I mean? So a lot of times you run into the same people every week, sometimes every day. You know?
So it was just the poverty and
Yeah, and just how people's
Horrendous.
it's their choices sometimes. Just this is how they live. This is what they've decided to do. And you're just not used to. You don't interact with these people in your regular day to day. But if you're a paramedic, you're running into these people all the time, And it's just like, yeah, it's just so many people where it's just like, they're kind of just fucked.
What made you want to be a paramedic?
My dad is a fireman.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so my dad was a fireman with the LAFD, and I always thought he was just cool, like it was like a cool job. When I was a kid, I used to love that show, Emergency.
Yeah, what's good?
Yeah.
Oh, I always think when I passed Rampart.
Yeah, that's one of the hospitals.
Because it was always, they were always on the microphone. They would always go Rampart 509 or whatever.
So that's what's kind of cool about my
Johnny
job
Gage.
now.
That was the guy's name. That was the character's name. It was Johnny Gage.
That was the paramedic.
What a fucking great. I had the emergency lunchbox, and on the front was a little kid with his head stuck in a fence.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah. I don't know if I remember that lunchbox, but I remember I had like emergency fucking fire helmet.
Yeah, and I had I had the little their little paramedic.
It was a badass
truck.
show.
That was a
dude.
great show.
My brother and I actually talked about it on our last podcast that we did, because there's been so many fire department shows and ER shows and paramedic shows like that since.
Yeah.
And nothing's been as good as that show. And the reason is that show just showed you guys running calls and everything that happens on a 911 call. And that was pretty much every episode was just, they were doing something, whatever they're doing, in their time. And then they get a call, show you how they get the call, show you driving to the call, show them entering the house, talking to the person, getting the ambulance to come, taking them to the hospital, handing it off to the doctor, talking to the doctor, talking to the nurse. They just showed you the whole thing. And it was interesting. You know what I mean? Because that's what was interesting. What was interesting about the job was just all the different shit you do. It could be any situation, anything that you can encounter. You can't predict what your day is going to be like, even if you think you can predict it. Even if you feel like you're doing the same stuff over and over, you never know when the shit's going to hit the fan and you're going to, encounter something you've never seen.
So somewhere, I mean, it's awesome your father was a firefighter. I mean, that's a badass job.
Yeah.
Like my dad was always my hero. He wasn't perfect. He drank a lot and wasn't very nice to my mom in a lot of ways. But, the fact that he was a helicopter pilot in Vietnam and got shot down and survived.
Man, yeah.
I thought he was a cool motherfucker for that. And then like your dad, a firefighter in LA, what a cool job.
Yeah, he did. He
So
did
it's kind of
stuff. Yeah.
to have a hero father, I think, is gives you some extra, kung fu grip.
Yeah, and like you were saying before about like being a good person, or like if you do have a dad that you look up to, it kind of like puts you on a path to like the kind of man you want to be. And the same thing, like you were saying, like when I was growing up, I didn't always like feel like we saw eye to eye, or I think he was like too strict or too tough, or you know what I mean, just because of the way he was brought up, dude. He's like, super macho fireman from the 70s, dude. You know what I mean? Like he thinks like firefighters now are soft. To him, you know what I'm saying? So that's like he's like super like man's man,
Yeah.
But now that I'm in my 40s and I have two sons, I see like, damn, he was a cool ass guy. He was really doing his best because this shit is hard, man. But yeah.
So at what point when you were a paramedic did you decide to start doing comedy? You're like, wow, I'm cracking these people up all day.
It was after my son was born. I had time off. I did baby bonding, and like, like you decide to start comedy, you decide to go on stage, but you kind of always wanted to be a comic. You know what I mean? You don't just decide one day I'm going to go on stage. Like you've had it in the back of your head for a long time. So since I was a kid,
so when did
when
did you fall in love with comedy?
When I was a kid, dude. I love fucking Eddie Murphy. Like all those movies. I'm okay. All those movies are my favorite. And I saw Paul Rodriguez when I was a kid.
Yeah.
My grandfather was kind of like a media figure in LA, so he knew Paul Rodriguez. And that was cool, man. I didn't know that was like a job you could have. Or
you said you said your grandfather worked for
my grandfather
CBS News?
Yeah, he was a newscaster and a reporter.
And he was instrumental in Univision News.
Yeah, he helped start
it. What a quality family you come from.
He's the guy that hired Jorge Ramos.
Who's
Univision. That? He's like the biggest reporter from Univision. He's a guy like Trump banned him from his from all his press conferences.
Oh, okay.
So, like,
do you speak Spanish?
Nah.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
I can speak like work Spanish. You know what I mean? Like ask you about your pain and medications.
Because I would like to learn. Because my mother's from Argentina.
Yeah.
And I like to visit my cousins there. And I think, someone who lives in North America should no
Absolutely.
Spanish. So now I'm
Absolutely.
not so ashamed because you don't speak it.
I feel like I know words, but I'm not going to talk to somebody. Like
Okay.
I'll answer you in English.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I can figure out what people are saying, but I feel like stupid when I'm trying to speak Spanish.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like,
Oh,
like
the
I
Google.
feel like you kind of have to speak it with like some level of confidence
Yeah.
when you're trying to speak it, and I just don't have that, and so I just don't attempt it enough.
Well, Google Translate is amazing.
Yeah. And
You can
my
just,
kids are up in Duolingo all the time.
yeah.
Yeah.
I tried to Duolingo French. It stays on cat and dog and man and woman too long.
Yeah.
Um,
Spanish is pretty good.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I just don't stick with it enough. You know what I mean?
So you're done with the paramedic
Yeah. So I
lifestyle.
worked on an ambulance I became a paramedic in 2003. I was an EMT in 98. So like 4 years I went to paramedic school, became a paramedic.
Why don't you write the next emergency show?
I was working on that, man. And
Yeah.
I wrote a pilot, dude, but I wrote it as a comedy. Right. And I finished the pilot and I see Tacoma FD.
Okay.
You ever watch that show?
No.
That shit's hilarious,
It's
dude.
funny.
It's the Super Troopers, the Broken Lizard.
So it's kind
That
of like a
crew.
Reno 911.
Yeah, it's hilarious, dude. And see, that was the aspect I wanted to tap on in my pilot, or if I got a series, was how much comedy there is in this job. You know what I mean? Like it's tragedy and it's serious, but it's mostly fucking around. You know what I mean? 'Cause it's just a bunch of guys, working together, going through hard shit.
Right.
And like, when you go to the ER, it's like the doctors fuck around, the nurses talk shit. It's a bunch of people talking shit mostly, and just having fun, and trying to make fun out of a not fun situation mostly. You know what I mean? So that's what I wanted to tap on. And from like a writing standpoint, to write like a comedy series about 911 calls, anything can happen. You know what I mean? Like the premise is open, basically. Anything can be a call. And I think they do that great on Tacoma FD. They make the calls hilarious.
What is that on? I've never seen it.
It was on True TV.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if it's still running or if they wrapped it up. I think they had like 4 seasons, but it was a hilarious show. Like I could not be like more like, proud of how they did it and how they did it.
And that nixed your emergency idea.
Kind of, man, because I'm basically writing the same show.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if I can find another aspect or angle on it, I would do it. I had a reality project based around the fire service that I've been working on with my brother. My brother is who I host my podcast with.
And he's a fireman.
He's a fireman, a paramedic, and he's also an actor. He's done like 20 network shows. He has a bunch of guest star spots. Like he's really like a working actor, but works a regular shift as a firefighter still.
Wow.
So
that's pretty bad.
We had an idea for a reality show based on that, or not really like a reality, but an unscripted show, but based on fire stations and the fire service, and kind of based on how our podcast is, because we have stories on our podcast from victims and people that had things happen to them, but then we also have firefighters that had a crazy fire, almost died, got trapped, had to be rescued, had a crazy rescue, shit like that. So we were going to have a show that kind of based itself around those stories, but in the setting of the fire station and touring fire stations and showing like, the pride, the camaraderie, because it's a really unique job, dude.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things too, where it's like all over the country, it's different people, but it's the same kind of people and the same kind of thing. And you know what I mean? And it's just kind of a trip that like all over America, there's like, every community has people in their community that are willing to, save the other people in the community.
Yeah.
And they always put aside their differences and work together and, have dinner together every night, talk shit out. Like it's its own little world, And so we're going to try to like tap on that. But it's the same kind of thing, dude. There were 2 other shows that were firefighter reality shows that came out when we were shopping, dude.
Yeah.
So NBC has a show with LA County Fire. I think it's LA Fire and Rescue. I think it's like a Dick Wolf show actually, but it's unscripted. They're following, the department around.
Because you remember Dragnet.
Yeah.
Remember that show? And it was always like the cases that they were following.
Yeah.
And you could do like a 911 show of just like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But, there's so many things that have been done.
Yeah, I know. It's a trip, man. And that's how everything is with entertainment, dude, and comedy. You know what I mean? Like you have a great idea, you're working on something, then you see it's out.
Yeah.
We're out somewhere else. You know what I mean? Or we're both in LA. It feels like every day, every week, you meet some new guy that you hadn't ever heard of before, and he's already like famous and has 1 million followers and he's
Right.
taking spots.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, okay, yeah, that's just how it is, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's interesting that not much of that paramedic experience made it into the comedy.
Yeah, because it was. I just never felt like I could make it.
So maybe
funny to
like I
people,
was saying
you know?
about how my last relationship, like some of it's too painful to relive. What do you think? That might be it?
It's not so much that. It's just a matter of like, how do I make it funny to audiences that aren't paramedics?
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I know how to be funny to paramedics, and I know how to be funny to regular people, and I just haven't always been able to make it intersect, other than
You know
a
when you're
couple
wrapping
jokes
the
here and there.
gauze
You
on a
know?
motorcycle.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Head because he wasn't wearing a helmet.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
And it's a trip too, because within my podcast, you know, I'm the comedian. I'm still always trying to be funny, and I've got to gauge with the guest how much fun of you can I make of you in this story that you're
Right.
telling me, which is basically like the worst thing that's ever happened to you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I got to figure out where I can squeeze in jokes, and I don't want to offend the person.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I have comics on that have had shit happen to them. There's a few comics that have had different emergencies. We had Alex Hooper on like twice. Before he had cancer, he had an emergency story where he had a allergic reaction, and the paramedics that showed up were like fighting, like about to fist fight.
Oh, wow.
While they're treating him and while they're driving to the hospital. Like the way he described it, he thought that the one guy slept with the other guy's wife.
Okay.
And that guy just found out that day.
Oh, shit.
So they were like on each other.
Wow.
Like about to fuck each other up his whole ride. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Wow.
So I know like with like Hooper, I can like fuck with him and crack jokes about the situation with him, right?
Yeah.
But
A normal person.
You don't really know, dude. Like we had a guy on, a guy and his wife. He's a firefighter. He works in LA, but they live in Rosarito. You know, people do that, man. Like they live in fucking Baja California, just drive to LA to work and go back home to Mexico, right? So that's what this guy does. He lives in a like American expat community in Rosarito, right? And he drives, you know, whatever hours to get to work. He works like 5 days and then goes home. So down there in Rosarito, he rides dirt bikes with his kids. He has a little dirt bike for his kid. He has a 6-year-old. They're on a track. They're alone on the track. Then another guy starts riding with them, but he starts riding the opposite direction. He hits a jump and lands on this guy's kid.
Oh, shit.
Basically, he's 6 years old, breaks his neck.
Oh, no.
Right? He's in Rosarito, out on this like dirt track. Nobody else there. He's got to pick up his kid. He's 6, put him in the truck, drive him to the nearest clinic. You know what I mean? This whole thing goes down where like they get him airlifted to San Diego to, I think it's Scripps Children's Hospital or something, or Rady Children's Hospital. Big specialty children's hospital in San Diego. The kid has surgeries. They save his life and everything. They live in the Ronald McDonald House.
Was he paralyzed?
During it. No, he came out of it, dude.
Phew.
The fucking kid plays football now, dude.
Thank you, Jesus.
He plays football now, dude.
Wow.
You know what I mean? He's like
Yeah.
16 or something.
Okay.
Right?
But it could have just been paraplegic the rest of his life.
Dude.
Or
so his
dead.
family's going through this whole thing, and they tell me that, you know, that they were living in the Ronald McDonald House, and I'm like, hey, did the ice cream machine work? You know what I mean? And it's like, and they were cool with it, and they laughed and shit. You know what I mean? Like they made them laugh, but it's like that could go either way, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm cracking a fucking joke about the Ronald McDonald House that they're living in because their kids having almost died.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And so it's like that. I feel like I'm in that. It's like a minefield of like, you know what I mean? And I don't want to be. I'm not trying to be shitty. It's just that's how I think, man. Like that shit's funny to me.
So
dude.
coming from a firefighter family and having the life of being a paramedic, how do you distill that wisdom into parenting your 2 sons?
It's kind of weird, man. Like the thing that really hits you is that like life is precious. You know what I mean? Like I've seen so many different kinds of people die.
Yeah.
Or just have tragedy hit them, dude, and they were not expecting it. And that's the craziest thing about being a paramedic is seeing somebody die unexpectedly and being there with their family right when it happens.
Jesus.
And just seeing them realize that, oh shit, it's
over.
Yeah,
They're
it's over.
gone.
And they're never coming back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the thing they don't,
Because
really
you're their
prepare you
last
for.
hope a lot of time when you walk through the door.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
this is the
And
savior.
to them, like, it's just like, dad fell asleep. We can't wake him up. You know what I mean? They don't realize like he's dead. And so I've seen that, like, their face change when we, like, you know, yank somebody off the couch and strip them and put all the shit on them and start going to work, dude, because they just thought he's just going to wake up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And shit changes fast, dude. And it's over fast. And it, you know, nothing takes it away. So the thing to pass on is just that, yeah, dude, you've got to do whatever it is that you want. Like, live your life to the fullest, treat people well.
Try and be happy.
Don't think that it's gonna, you know, it's gonna be there forever.
Yeah.
Because it's not, dude. Yeah.
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 So
It's
how
crazy.
what were you going to say?
But I mean, even us, like, as comedians, dude, like, we find guys die every few months, it feels like.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I
Lately,
mean? Like, a
God, in
new
the last
guy that
like
was-
5 years,
Dude,
all these comedians
they were,
killing
like, in
themselves.
their 40s, man.
Yeah.
Or, like, they found them dead in their car or something.
Yeah.
Dead in their
God,
house,
so many suicides among
overdoses,
comedians.
heart attacks.
It's fucking
suicides.
unbelievable.
Yeah, man. It's like, you never know.
I met some horrible woman somewhere like a year ago, and she said, I told her I was a comedian. She goes, "Oh, I know what you comedians are like. You're all like about to commit suicide and troubled." Like, she really like just like shit all over it and belittled the entire industry of comedians that were all like these potential suicides, fucking basket cases walking around.
Troubled souls.
Fuck you, lady.
It's crazy.
And what a horrible person that was. Couldn't get away from her fast enough. So what's it like raising your children in the internet age?
It's wild, dude, because you want to try to block everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you keep them away from screens until a certain age. You want to limit all that influence and everything. But then, like, once they're in school, other kids have phones, other kids have a Nintendo Switch. There's not so much you can do, because then you're going to be that parent that's just overly sheltering their kid. And there's a lot of parents that are like that.
Yeah.
You know, even in LA, there's a bunch of people who are like wooden toys only, and, you know, they can never see a screen. You know what I mean? And, you know, they're going to get all their toys imaginary and shit like that. And it's just, I didn't want it to be that guy to my kids.
Yeah.
You know? I remember too, growing up, wanting things that I couldn't get. And I never liked that feeling, and I didn't want to do that to my kids. So I give them freedom to make choices, explore things. They obviously
How old are your sons?
My oldest is going to turn 13 in a couple days. It blows my mind. And then I have a 10-year-old.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, they're
Right
in that age now where, like, everything's gonna, you know, change for them.
Yeah, I mean, and everything will like stay with them forever.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like the things that happened to you in that age range.
Yeah. So it's like they text their friends. The biggest thing with the internet age with my kids that's different from me, or, you know, when I was growing up, is they all play video games together. That's like the number one thing they use it for, basically, is to just be like in a group chat, all playing the same game.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool, because it's like they can just hang out with their friends at any time.
That's community. And they got headsets and they're talking to each other.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we couldn't do that. We would have to, like, go over to whoever's house it was and wait our turn to play a game. You know, you couldn't just be home playing with your friends while they're at home.
Yeah.
You know, that would have never flown.
Well, I like the bit you did on Full's Custody about that your kids are beating you at all these video games. So you busted out the board games.
Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, man. And yeah, they beat my ass in that too. You know what I mean? Because it's the thing, is like, you want to be involved with your kids, dude.
Yeah.
You know, and get into what they get into. And
playing games is a great
and that's how you become the sports
I play
dad.
Scrabble with my mom all the time.
Yeah.
We started during the pandemic, and we tried the app for a while, but there's too many fucking ads that pop up, make it really irritating. But when we're together, we play that's the Tom and Mom Scrabble trophy right there. I had.
Oh, nice.
She was here during the first 4 months of the pandemic.
Yeah.
So every day we would play Scrabble.
Yeah.
That's our thing now.
Nice.
And my mom is not a great speller, so I stomp her all the time. It's great.
Nice. Dude, that's my experience, man. It's like they want to play a game. Okay, what am I gonna lose then now?
Spanish is her first language, so she's always like mixing up the J's and the G's, and
you got an unfair advantage, Tom.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, but I'm trying, man. Like I don't want to lose. You know what I mean? I'm making an effort, dude.
Right.
But yeah, it's crazy.
I had my father and 2 older brothers. Every game we ever played was to the death.
Yeah.
We played ping pong to the death. Miniature golf,
dude. Monopoly. Everything. Start fights.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, you know what I mean. And I tell my kids too. Like I used to play my dad 1-on-1, and he would never buy me shoes that I wanted. That was like a big waste of money to him. Like, buy your shoes at Payless Shoes.
My dad, it was always cheap shit.
Like, what are you doing spending money on shoes? That's dumb, right? Never got Jordans, anything like that, right? Till I was an adult. So he finally bets me. I think I was like 11 or 12. If you can beat me 1-on-1, I'll buy you whatever shoes at the store that you want, right? Like because I'm never going to beat him, right? And I get to where I'm within a point of beating him, and he's like, "Oh shit." And he starts fouling me, dude. Like flagrant fouling me, man. Knocked me in the garage door. And I'm a kid. And I finally, he's not trying to lose, dude. And I finally hit this crazy like fadeaway on him from the edge of the driveway. And it goes in and I win. Wow. And he's got to buy me the shoes. You know what I mean?
So you got them?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. They didn't have Jordans at that store though. But I got like,
my dad always had us play, we would play tennis. We were in Florida. My dad loved tennis.
Okay.
And if you could beat my dad, he'd buy us a moped because we all wanted mopeds.
Yeah. And he just knew you were never going to beat
none of us could ever come close.
That's how my dad
But it was great motivation.
With racquetball. I would never dare play my dad in racquetball or handball, probably even now, dude. Because he's a firefighter. Racquetball, handball's big in the fire department.
Yeah.
And he's just one of those guys that can just put the ball wherever he wants it and just make you run around the whole fucking court like an idiot while he stands in one spot. And just orchestrates it, dude. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't want to embarrass myself. And I don't feel like I have things like that with my kids. So, you know, like you
can humiliate them at?
Yeah, dude. Except like if I'm playing like 1-on-1 with my son and I'm like blocking shots, but he's also getting better at shooting and can get past me. I'm talking about my 10-year-old, dude. You know what I mean? And I'll block his shot, like tell him like, you've got a head fake, dude. You got a pump fake or do something to get me off or I'm going to do that every time. So it's like to show him to not get blocked.
Yeah.
But also that's the only shit that I can do where I can consistently beat my kid. You know what I mean? Soccer, he's beating me. Any video games, they're beating me, man. You know? And it's like, that's how guys become sports dads.
But you're getting all this material from them.
Oh, yeah.
They're like they're a gold mine for you.
Yeah. Yeah. That's been cool.
So, like what's your writing process? Because you always seem to have new material about stuff.
Whatever pops in my head, dude. I don't write down jokes.
Never.
I write down.
You don't have a notebook?
I've got a list of like names of jokes, like the idea.
Yeah.
And I just work it out, dude.
But you don't have a notebook where you write it all out.
No. When I finally wrote the special, I tried to start writing out jokes, and I probably wrote out like 5 jokes that I do, and that's it. I didn't finish writing them. And when I write new stuff, that's all I do. I just write the idea of the joke and the name of the joke in my phone, and I'll look at the phone when I go up and just try to riff out that joke. And if it works, you know, I keep it. Sometimes shit doesn't work, but I still like it. I know something's there, so I want to just keep doing it until it's good to me and I like it.
What if you forget like a certain nuance of the joke?
I know I run that risk, dude, and sometimes that happens.
Because
like then sometimes also I feel like if I write stuff, then that's the script now of that joke.
Yeah.
And that's how I'm always going to do it. And I'm not going to add to it as much or fuck with it.
Okay.
Because I still like, there's stuff on the special that I do now that I do differently now. And it's better to me now.
Right.
Than it was on the special. And that's just going to happen if you just keep, you know, doing the material. But I don't know, it's just a thing in my head that like, I feel like if I wrote the whole thing, I'm going to follow that script that I wrote. And I want to still have freedom. I want every bit to sound like I just thought of it. You know what I mean? Like I'm just talking. We're just having a conversation, you know?
Well, you do have a natural flow, you know, and a lot of times I can just get stuck into my joke rhythm I'm trying to be more
See, but I
authentic.
dig that too, dude. Like that rhythm. That was like one of the first things I picked up on you. Going back to my story at the Laugh Factory, because I did that open mic, right? And that was the first set I ever did was the Laugh Factory open mic. And I remember like, yeah, the guys next to me in line, it was King Batch, and he's got like 30 million followers or some shit now. He's like a huge
Wow.
internet guy, right? And this guy Sean Grant is fucking hilarious too. And he had already done Jimmy Kimmel at that time, so everybody's like established already. And I do like my 3 jokes, you know, and I stay for the show after, and that's where I saw you. And like, yeah, dude, you had like what you're talking about, man, the stand-up rhythm, where it was like felt like a concert, dude. Like you were doing like songs and shit almost, man. And I still remember like one of the bits, dude. It was about the Geico lizard taking people's jobs, taking Americans' jobs, dude. That shit was so fucking funny, man.
Oh yeah, I haven't forgot it. I forgot that bit. It was great. Everybody everybody talks about Mexican people coming to the United States and taking our jobs. I want to say fuck that. It's English people who are coming to our country and taking all the jobs. Pierce Morgan, all these, look all around. It's all English people taking the best fucking jobs. That little Geico lizard.
Yeah, dude.
I forget how it went, but that was a great premise.
Yep. Yeah, that shit was funny as hell, dude.
That was nice.
Yeah, that's like, yeah, that was like one of the first times I saw a dude was like, oh yeah, this is a pro fucking comic. Like I got to get good.
That was a good hunk because I was saying that I think we should annex Mexico and make it part of the United States. And we should adopt their flag.
Yeah.
Because Mexico's got the coolest flag. It's an eagle standing on a cactus, squeezing the shit out of a rattlesnake.
Dude, I forgot.
No one would ever fuck with us if we carried that flag. Does anyone fuck with Mexico? No, and it's because of that flag. I should.
It's so funny. Yeah, you should
bring that back.
I had this other bit I was working on about flags, right? And I hit up the Mexico flag, but the premise of that bit was like, you know, I saw that they had a Pride Month, and you know, I work for the county of LA. Every month is a month of some kind of awareness, right? It's Hispanic heritage, it's Asian American, Pacific Islander heritage. It's you know, Pride Month. And when it was Pride, there's like a lot of different pride flags, dude. There's not just the one rainbow flag.
Right,
there's a trans flag. There's like a bi people flag. You know, every letter has a flag, dude. Their own flag, right? And it got me to thinking, like, what if all the flags were just originally just how that country likes to fuck? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like what if it had nothing to do with, you know, the whatever patriotic story it was just, you know what I mean?
Like just positions.
Yeah, dude. Like the American flag, it's red and white stripes. It was like, you know, white people laying down Indians under the stars, you know, Native Americans under the stars, right? Or like Canada, it's just a maple leaf. Like they like to fuck outside.
I like it.
Japan, it's a red dot.
That's good.
Yeah.
Bill Hicks used to do a bit that every flag should be a picture of your parents fucking, because that's where you're really from. That was it. You see the Argentina flag right there.
Yeah.
The romantic story behind the reason that there's a sun in the center of the Argentina flag, the guy who was designing the flag, when he was thinking of the colors for the flag, he looked up and he saw the beautiful sun in the sky. So he decided to put a sun on it.
There you go.
So that's it.
Yeah.
Or maybe they like to fuck in the sunshine.
Exactly.
Outdoors.
Yeah, under the blue sky.
Yeah.
Yeah, out in the daylight. Yeah, they're freaky Argentinians. Yeah, so that's what I remember. Like, though, when you get to Mexico, it's like, yeah, Mexicans are into some freaky shit. You know what I mean? We want an eagle to bite our dick. We had an eagle bite your dick. All right, don't knock it. Yeah.
Now, but you grew up in LA. You're a lifelong Los Angelino.
Yep, in Venice, dude.
In Venice.
When I was a little kid, we lived in Inglewood, and I moved to Mar Vista when I was like 7 or 8. I went to Venice High. I'm like,
wow.
Local yokel, man. My grandparents lived in Venice. My parents still live there.
Your grandparents live in Venice?
My grandparents lived in Venice.
Wow.
They still have a house there that they lease out for like, you know, shit ton of money now.
Yeah.
Because Venice is completely different, dude, from when I grew up, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. When I grew up, it was gangs, dude. Wow. Must have been skaters. Like that like the Dogtown movies, and Lord's Dogtown, all that stuff. That stuff was true. And that was more like the 70s. In the 80s when I was a kid, yeah, dude, we had 3 gangs. We had a Cholo gang, V13. We had a Crip gang, the Shoreline Crips, and they'd go to war with each other, the brown people and the black people. And there was a white gang too. It was Suicidals. It was like a surfer gang.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like Suicidal Tendencies.
Yeah,
that was like it was like a gang, like kind of like around that logo and shit. And
Wow.
Yeah, man. It was wild, dude. Venice is still wild now. It's
Yeah, I did
more
a show at
wild
the
'cause,
Townhouse last night.
yeah.
And there's always some, sketchy looking fucking people on Windward Avenue.
Yeah, it's the homeless people now is what
Yeah.
makes it crazy and makes it dangerous. Before it was the residents.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The people live there.
Yeah.
Now all those people got priced out and moved out, but there's just like, encampments all over the
What,
place.
what's like your favorite things about LA, and what are the things you're most critical of Los Angeles?
I mean, LA's weird, dude, because most people aren't from here. Most people move here.
Chasing the dream.
Yeah. You know what I mean? And that's what it's here for. And that is one of my favorite things about it is everything's here. You know what I mean? If I live somewhere else, I'm going to, miss a lot of stuff, dude. And I know that you can still be in this industry and, do things without living here, but everything is here, dude. The weather's great.
I used to
Beach
hate
is
Los
nice.
Angeles. This is my third time living here.
Most people hate Los Angeles, dude.
And now I love it. I think it's one of the best cities in the world.
I think too, but from traveling around, weather makes a difference, dude.
Yeah.
Where you're going to live, I can't fuck with the snow, dude.
Yeah, I hate winter.
Ice.
Yeah.
Scraping off ice, things freezing, man.
Yeah.
And I also can't fuck with things
But
burning.
this year we've been ripped off. The weather's completely sucked.
But even us complaining
been
about the
gray
weather,
and-
it's still better than like 90% of places.
But now
dude.
everywhere's turning to spring
Like you're from
and summer.
Florida, dude.
Yeah.
Right? Come on, man. I haven't actually been to Florida, but I've heard terrible things about the weather. You're just sweating through your clothes the entire time.
I always thought
dude.
it was great. I love extreme heat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
But like humidity,
I love it.
because I have a lot of my family is in Phoenix and Mesa, Tempe, so it's dry heat,
Yeah.
but still extreme heat.
But it's still
I hate that shit, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I could deal, but yeah, when I'm out there,
Well, I think
in
that's
the
why I
summer,
like the hot yoga
it's
so much.
110. You know what I mean? Like you get in your car, you're burning. Everything's hot as fuck to touch, dude. You know? Yeah. Yeah, you're a hot yoga guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
What is it?
I did it this
108?
morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do. It's like 105 degrees in the room.
I had a girlfriend that was trying to get me into doing it.
Yeah.
And she did it all the time, but I'd never done regular yoga.
Yeah.
And it was just one of those things where like I thought I was gonna look dumb because I'd be like a first timer
Yeah.
in hot yoga already, sweating my ass off. Yeah. So I just never got around to doing it.
I've never done the normal yoga.
You went straight to hot.
Just straight to hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's great. The pounds just fly off if and you don't even have to be good at it. Like the first year I was doing it, I mean, I couldn't do half the postures, but you're trying, and that's the whole thing. And it's, you do everything at your own pace.
Yeah.
And just to like bend your spine and hang upside down and blood's rushing to your head. There's a 95-year-old woman in my class. She's always in there in the morning.
Whoa.
And she never goes down. She's always stands on her feet. And she doesn't do everything perfectly, but she finishes every class on her feet. And when I started doing it, like the first couple months, I'd be on the ground just like panting and begging for Jesus, and I couldn't do the whole class.
Yeah, that's what I was
But
worried
it
about.
took like this. It took to build up the stamina and to do it. And my favorite thing about the hot yoga is you see people in their 20s and 30s, really good-looking, fit Los Angeles people come in there, and they're on the floor half the class, and they're just panting and begging for Jesus.
Yeah.
And my favorite thing about hot yoga is being an older person and doing it better than the young, fit people who are on the ground and just like writhing in agony.
It's kind of like comedy.
Yeah, I
In
guess
that
it is.
sense. Yeah. You know what I mean? You know exactly what you're doing, and you watch all these new people come to LA and try their thing and writhe and and give up.
So your new special, what can you tell me about it? I loved it. I just watched it before you came.
Thanks, man. Appreciate that, dude. It's just the story of everything I've gone through, like in the last 3 years. My comedy career has been weird, man. I started, like we were saying, after my kid was born. That's what kind of prompted me to give it a shot, because it was something I always wanted to do since I was a kid. And then, I was scared, dude. I didn't want to bomb.
Yeah.
I'm shy. Like the stage fright, the whole thing, dude. So having a kid gave me kind of the balls to do it, because like, how do I tell him to try things or chase things if I was scared to try the thing I wanted to do?
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I would always write jokes and think of shit that I thought was funny. So that's what made me do it, right? I got my first TV appearance like 2017. I got to host a show for HBO. That was like a Latino stand-up showcase. And
But you don't speak Spanish.
I know. And
Yeah.
I'm the first guy to speak English on HBO Latino. That they had to put Spanish subtitles under me, dude.
I'm just teasing.
Yeah, nah. It was funny though, because that show, it was bought as a Spanish language stand-up show.
Okay.
Because the guy that produced it, he had a series already that was Spanish language that was on, I think, Audience Network, the DirecTV channel. So he kind of pulled me aside. I was like, I sold this. They want the pilot for it, but I'm going to do 2 pilots. I'm going to do one in English. And he let me host the one in English.
Nice.
Right? So we did that. You know, you kind of think like after your first TV appearance, especially if it's HBO, it's going to be a series. Oh shit, I'm going to be like the host of Def Jam now. Career's going to take off.
Right.
And like, yeah, it didn't happen. I got in a big car accident, dude. Like 2 weeks before I shot the pilot, and basically broke my back, right? And I shot the pilot all fucked up. I just didn't tell him that I was in a car accident. So they just kept me for the first episode and replaced me on the second episode because they thought that I was like too stiff.
And you literally were, right? You
I was.
back
Stiff
brace
as
on.
fuck. Yeah, dude. Yeah, I didn't have a back brace on, dude. I was just like limited motion, dude. I wound up having back surgery a couple years later. That's also kind of like what hit the bump in my career because, dude, it hurt to stand up for that long, man, and perform shows. You know what I mean? Like the longer I went without surgery, the worse it got. Then I had surgery, recovered from the surgery. So it's like 2020 when I'm coming out of that and starting to do shows and get weekends and, you know, headline and stuff. So early 2020, I lined up like 5 weekends in a row, going to travel a little bit, start trying to get my career back going. Then mid-March, just everything shuts down for the pandemic, dude.
Wow,
You know what
right?
I mean? It's canceling shows. There's nowhere you can perform, you know?
That pandemic.
Yeah, dude. We all start doing like
I get
Zoom
pissed
shows,
when I think about it now.
performing in fucking parking lots, dude.
Yeah.
People are flashing their lights. Remember that shit?
I didn't do any of that. But I mean, I didn't work for a year and 3 months.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I'm so happy that I didn't give up my job when I thought I was, you know, going to be on TV and shit, and my career was taking off now, you know, because it would have been fucked, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It had a big effect on me. I mean, I wonder if that woman might not have committed suicide
Who knows,
had the
dude?
pandemic not
Who
happened.
knows how many other people jumped off of?
Maybe I'd still be in the relationship I was in had I not been separated from this woman for so long because of the pandemic. There's just, you know, but whatever.
Dude.
Fuck it. It's all in the past.
That's what life is, man.
It's all in the past.
Yeah, dude. It's just, you know, what if this, what if that? But, you know, what are you going to do, dude? So, yeah, after the pandemic or during the pandemic, 2021, I get my kids full time. And that's kind of like another bump because I got to adjust to, you know, I'm used to doing 4 or 5 shows a week, dude. Now I got my kids every night. You know, I got to do 4 or 5 shows a month, if that. You know, and focus on, you know,
only
parenting.
4 or 5 a month is what you're doing now?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Because I've got to be with them. You know what I mean? I got to account for where they're going to be all the time. You know, and I can't always leave them with people, or you know, I've got to be present. You know.
Do you still have that little? Are you still involved in that little club on Sunset Boulevard?
We are, but I've got another. We have another spot now. That's the show I'm going to get you on if you're free the end of next month. Yeah.
Because I finally did a spot at that.
Yeah, it's a cool little spot.
Little club.
But over the summer we're going to have a rooftop in Hollywood. That's really nice.
Oh,
it's
cool.
A really, really cool hotel. Yeah, it's right on Vine and the 101. It's nice, man.
Nice. Well, I need to meet a better quality of people. So
it's going to be good, dude. Well, so I got the opportunity to do this special. I saw a lot of people producing their own specials and putting them out, right? And it's like, I've got to get my career back on track. I'm thinking of doing this now.
That's like the hot thing now, like comedians.
Yeah, and the thing is too, dude, it's hard to sell a special,
and you filmed it at the West Side Comedy Theater.
Yeah.
The curtain behind it is beautiful, blue. Yeah. I've never, but I noticed a couple of the shots. I'm like, oh, that's the West Side Comedy Theater, and I love that place.
I know, you can barely
But
tell.
when did they bring in a beautiful blue curtain? Was that just
the production team, man?
Okay.
Because that's how I got lucky with this. I always kept tight with the producer from the HBO series, right? This was a guy who had watched me in like 2014 when I was doing the Goonies show. starting out my independent show, he'd come to see the show, and I didn't know he was a producer, and we became friends, and stayed in contact, right? So he puts me on HBO. The HBO series continues on. They have like 15 parts. They have half-hour specials. Orlando Leyba, Nick Guerra, Jerry Garcia, all the big Latino comedy specials come out of that series, right?
Okay.
So
all funny
when
dudes.
I'm thinking of producing my own special, that's the first guy I reach out to for tips, basically. Give me some pointers on what to do with this, because that guy his name's Edwin Licona. He's the executive producer of that series. He's awesome like that, dude. He wants to help everyone in the comedy community, especially Latino comics, to build their brands, to make their own projects. You know what I mean? And a lot of people that came out of that show or did that show move on to other stuff, right?
So did he help you film this?
He went in on it with me, dude.
Nice.
Yeah, I got lucky, man. He's like, I'll go halves with you.
Great.
And produce it. So I had that team, that does all those HBO specials on
It looks
my
beautiful,
stuff, dude. And I got really lucky with that, man, that they were all willing to work with me, because we did that on like a shoestring budget. This guy's used to having an HBO budget.
Right.
You know what I mean? To shoot all these specials and locations, fly everybody out, get a huge crew. And it was like a challenge for him as well. How good of a special can I shoot? How good can I make this look for the least amount of money? You know what I mean?
Right.
So we were able to pull that off, at scale, and have a special that looks great. And then to write it, like I was saying before, man, I had to like go in and write new stuff to have the theme and have the cohesion and make it full custody, and not just, just a bunch of jokes that always hit for me.
Right.
Which was my first instinct. So like the first 15 minutes of that special is like 6 months old. And I just wrote it and been working it. And then the next 15 or the last 15 are like stuff that I had been doing that hit, that I was able to still tie into the theme.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, everybody watch Fool's Custody with Ben Gonzalez on YouTube. Follow the man, like it, leave good comments. And any other, what's
Oh, my podcast, man. It's it's called Please Remain Calm. Please Remain Calm. It's me and my brother. My brother Danny, like we were saying, is a firefighter, paramedic, and a working actor. We have people on that called 911. If you had an emergency, Tom was telling us about almost drowning. That's our show. People had crazy shit happen to them. We had a guy that drowned. We had, multiple kinds of car accidents, guys that were trapped in fires. We had a guy that fell 45 feet off of a utility pole, a lineman, and survived.
Wow.
Yeah. Just all kinds of shit, dude. All this random stuff.
I went to high
had a lot
school
of
with a girl
comedians,
her father worked for the Florida Electric, what is it, PG&E or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And he was electrocuted to death up on some fucking electric
Yeah, man.
pole. I couldn't imagine. Woo.
Job's crazy as hell. This guy we had was training at the training center.
Wow.
He's practicing climbing up and just went too far and just fell off, dude.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
And he walked into our studio, man.
No shit.
Yeah, he survived. He was supposed to be dead.
It's amazing what people can survive in their life,
dude.
It's
crazy. Dude, this guy, I mean, he has like robotic legs kind of thing, but he can operate them and he walks, right? He won the Paralympic Ironman.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So he's like a 3-time like triathlon winner.
Wow.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy, dude.
Amazing.
Yeah. So
human resilience.
That's the podcast, man. It's all stories like that. And it's available everywhere. And we
Ben,
did a
I'd
little
love you
version
to-
of it now.
Huh?
We did a little mini version of it.
Yeah.
here.
A little Whitman sampler of what it was about.
Right.
Ben, I got nothing but love and respect for you, my brother, and I'm thrilled to have you in my home and on my podcast.
Thank you, man. Likewise. This is great.
In closing, is there any wisdom or words of advice you have for the people of the earth?
Don't try stand-up comedy.
Try
Try it to see how it is. Get it out of your system,
there's
but don't pursue it as a job, man.
Really?
You know what I mean? But here's the thing with that, dude. Like, if somebody really wants to do it, you're not going to talk them out of it.
I say go
Yeah.
for it, man. Like, what are you doing in your life? It's a great way to meet people.
I don't
And I've heard
recommend-
some young comedians talking shit like, if you haven't made it by 50, you should just get out of the business or get out of haven't made it by 40. Like,
Yeah.
who the fuck are you to decide?
Yeah.
Little cocky bastard.
I wouldn't say like if
what
you
anyone should be
haven't
doing
made
with their
it.
life.
Yeah.
And Lynn Ruth Miller, I don't know if you ever knew her.
No.
She started doing comedy in her 60s.
Yeah.
And then in her 70s, she moved to London.
Yeah.
And she died a few years ago, but just ballsy.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's a great lifestyle, even if you're just like working locally and being a comedian. And there's something very healing about laughter, my mother always reminds me. So people have problems. They need to forget about their problems.
It's the thing, though, where like you've got to love it to do it. Like if you think that you're going into it like this is going to be a job, I'm going to make money from it, have a career, and I can just focus on like it's work like that. Yeah, just you're gonna hit the wall, man. You know what I mean? Like it's hard, dude.
I love it. It's the only place in the world where I feel like I have total control.
Yeah,
is when I'm standing on stage with a microphone in my hands. When
there's
off stage, I
like
can't control shit.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a good life.
Walking up and seeing a room of strangers and they don't know what they're in for.
Yeah,
and you know what they're in for. Yeah, there's nothing like that, man. Because you convert strangers, dude, to liking you.
Yeah,
just by saying some shit for a few minutes, and you do it like in a couple minutes. Less than that, dude. Yeah.
Well, Ben, I like you very much, brother.
Likewise. Dude.
And I love and respect you, and long may you run, my brother.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you, dude.
All right. Hooray for humanity.